What's going on, you guys? It's Mike from All My Friends Are Grown-Ups, the uncut, unfiltered, and edited podcast on YouTube. I wanted to kind of branch out the channel a little bit and do some reviews on stuff. We're going to talk about this in the podcast. We're going to be recording it likely tonight, so it'll be uploaded within the next few days. The 10th episode of All My Friends Are Grown-Ups will be uploaded tonight. But I want to do a quick video here to capitalize on the buzz and everything because it is phenomenal. There is a show, if you don't know, that just dropped 2 days ago, The Last of Us. Now, it's based off of the video game adaptation from a few years back, and it is probably one of, if not my favorite video game that I've ever played. I've played through it a bunch of times. I don't think I'm alone. I know I'm not alone in that sentiment. The game, the story is just so well written. The emotions brought out in the characters through the game, it is unreal. And of course, when this was announced, that this was going to be a film adaptation and that Pedro Pascal was going to be Joel and the whole casting, like I was excited, but I was a little, like anybody who loves something so much, they want an adaptation, a live action to hold up because historically speaking, video games that are turned into movies don't perform as well, or they simply don't they don't live up to the expectations, right? Um, that is not the case with this. This I am completely blown away by the pilot, the way they opened it up. From being somebody who played through the game multiple times and played the remastered version, playing through and then watching the the pilot episode, you can tell that this show has been made with a lot of love and respect and reverence towards the source material. Um, and I know I was visibly just smiling. I was so emotionally like just for the first episode, I was so into it. And it's like I'm just getting off this now. So like I just finished it and I'm blown away. I'm hoping they continue to as the show progresses and move on the next few episodes and the rest of the season, they continue to make or stick rather, excuse me, to the source material even more so. Like you said, you want it to be its own adaptation, but it's so good. Like J- Pedro Pascal plays a fantastic Joel so far. The pilot episode more so focuses on him, his life before day one, and then after. Without any spoilers, but if you play the game, you know. But it focuses more on him. Um, I'm blanking on her name right now. I apologize. Her performance as Ellie, I will put the name in the description. I can't remember her name right now. I keep blanking on it. I know she's in Game of Thrones, um, but her performance as Ellie, for it's a lot less screen time in the pilot episode. But from what I can tell, like her performance is already like a great Ellie. She has that rebel kind of screw you attitude in the beginning that Ellie had in you know the in the video game. Um, uh, she's like the sarcastic, like I said from the few scenes you've seen her in already. It's like she's the sarcastic one, and she's just like kind of like I don't give a shit, you know what I mean, sort of thing. But she plays from what I get a great Ellie. Pedro Pascal has that gift as an actor, um, that he can tell an entire story with a blank expression on his face and like subtle movements in his face. You know what I mean? He can do one expression and tell like 10 different stories. He's that good. And it's ironic because he really, I can say got known, but his big break, as you would say, or getting known, was as the Mandalorian when he wore a mask the entirety of the series except for one or two scenes. But he is a phenomenal actor, and him as Joel, just it's I, I'm so excited to see how this progresses and how the attachment changes and how their relationship between Joel and Ellie changes through the season as it had in the video game. and I'm dying to see how that's going to play out on screen. Because you can tell they're in the set relationship now. Of in the beginning, she's cargo, and the show ends on a cliffhanger. Um, the whole I don't want to do any spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it ends on a cliffhanger. And as soon as it was over, I was like, I want to watch the next episode. I don't want to wait another week. I legitimately wait. I debated on waiting until the entire series was out before I was gonna watch it, but I couldn't wait. I was like, I have to watch it. I can't wait for the whole season to be done because I love the binge watch, and now I'm just like, I'm waiting on the edge of my seat for next week. So, um, I also think that the show is doing a great job of capturing the scenery, the overall aesthetic, the appeal of. It sounds weird to say the appeal of the post-apocalyptic world, but like how nature has overgrown everything, which is how the game felt. Between city to city or mission to mission in the game, it's post-apocalyptic, so you have vast areas of wilderness that have overgrown because humanity is not part of it anymore. They really captured that even with the first thing, and then inside the compound, um, the quarantine zone that Joel is in the beginning, they captured that perfectly. The prison guard ridden. Everyone has duties to do. They're burning the bodies and then they sign up for a shift, but the whole feel of it, like, is just it matches the game perfectly, and it evokes a lot of different feelings. In like, I felt like The Last of Us always invoked a different kind of apocalypse because it's not your typical your typical virus, and that runs havoc. But it's focused on fungal infections, which is, as a biologist and as a major in biology, it was something that I always thought was cool, and I used to talk to people about. I thought that was going to be the way, if anything happened, it would. So, um, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So it invokes a different sense of a post-apocalyptic world than I think any other zombie or infected, game has, and they captured that again in the show, like, just so perfectly. Um, I talked about the performances I said of Ellie and Pedro Pascal as Joel, but the intro scene, if you know what I'm talking about, again, I won't spoil anything, but if you know what I'm talking about, it was so gut wrenching to watch. Um, Towards the end of the intro scene on day one, uh, and I remember playing the game for the first time and consecutive times after that, and really just feeling like I don't like a video game has never invoked that kind of, like, man, like, heavy emotion right out of the gate, that I was like, it's a special kind of game. And the show, just in my opinion, went above and beyond that. The performance of Joel's daughter in the beginning, um, I gotta look her name. I don't know who that is, but she played a phenomenal part in that. And towards the ending of that intro scene, her performance was gut wrenching too. It's definitely that kind of tearjerker, that is going to get a lot of people that haven't seen or played the game, but even people that have. Like, I was like, God, it's so heart wrenching, and just like, oh, it's heavy, man. It's heavy. But so far, I just had to get this out here because I know a lot of people are reacting to it and reviewing it. So I wanted to give a little uh, snippet, a little review, immediate thoughts. The show is so far phenomenal. I can't wait till next week now. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful disaster, as they call it, and that's exactly what the game was, and this is turning out to be. It's going above my expectations, 110%, way above them. So, um, wanted to get that out there. The Last of Us, HBO, it's so good. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. I promise you will not be disappointed. Even if you don't like those zombie survival things, it's not your typical zombie survival story. It's way different. It's it's not a Resident Evil. It's not a Walking Dead. I just you got to watch it. Just check it out. So the Almighty and I will be recording another podcast. Got some new equipment here. Make the quality of the videos a little better. So please leave a like, subscribe, favorite, share on any social media platform that you can. We deeply appreciate it. Mike from All My Friends Are Grown Ups, signing out. Till next time.